Hello, I'm Angela, and I am here with another episode of Fandom Files. This week I will be discussing the fandom of Six the Musical. Now, overall, the fandom of Six the Musical isn't cringy and it isn't argumentative, which is a good thing. The thing I need to talk about before I talk about the whole episode is that the fandom really does not care about historical accuracy. It doesn't care about it in the way like 1776 does. It doesn't care about it in the way like Assassins does. So, the fandom's thoughts on the characters will be very different on on a historian's thoughts of the characters, basically, which makes sense because the whole like musical is a little like more of an exploration of how the queens would be like if they lived in the modern day and not like a accurate tale of their like of the life and times in their Renaissance life, basically. Yeah. Now, we have six queens in the musical: Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr. Now, everyone thinks of Catherine of Aragon as like the only sane woman in the friend group, which, yeah, I guess makes sense. Her whole song is her just being like, I am annoyed with Henry just being weird and annoying, which makes sense. Oh yeah, I need to preface this by saying that everyone thinks that all of the queens are friends, which is really interesting because in the musical they seem to like fight a lot, but the musical ends with them reconciling and acting all friendly. So I guess that thought kind of makes sense. And historically, a lot of them didn't even meet each other. But yeah, with Catherine of Aragon, a lot of people think of her as like the only sane girl in the group because she just does not like dealing with other people's craziness. She is like chill, she knows what to do, she knows what she's thinking. And then we have Anne Boleyn. Now she is the crazy one in the group. She's the one that comes up with like the dumb ideas and she goes through with them and she coaxes other people into them. Like that's what the fandom thinks of Anne, which I get the coaxing part and I kind of get the crazy like part because in her song Don't Lose Your Head, she kind of does do a lot of crazy things, but the song has always I've interpreted the song as her and her dad doing the crazy things as like a way of getting publicity, whereas a lot of people are like, yeah, she just be like that though. Next, we have Jane Seymour. Now she is like the nice mom friend of the group because she is like everyone just thinks of her as a kind cinnamon roll who's just very nice to everyone and is kind of like their adopted mother, which is nice. But a lot of people overlook her, and my reason for thinking that, or yeah, my theory on why she isn't as popular as the other queens, on why not a lot of people think about her, is that her song has like a very different vibe from everyone. In the fact that it's like more ballady than like exciting. Every other queen, their song is like very exciting, makes your heart go pumping and everything. Like you want to dance to them. But hers is like a sad pop ballad about the fact that her and Henry's relationship was super unstable, which might like deter some people. Anyway, so next we have Anne of Cleves. Now, a lot of people interpret Anne of Cleves of just like chilling. She does not care about the drama at like all, which I feel like that one is the most historically accurate. The musical I feel like is pretty historically accurate with her personality. It just doesn't tell a lot of stories because the musical and the fans do like just represent her as someone like living her best life because she kind of did compared to everyone else, which, you know, good for her, amazing for her. Next, we've got Catherine Howard. Now, she's kind of like the innocent child who didn't deserve anything because well, first of all, the actual Catherine Howard died at around like 18, 19, which is like really, really young. And second of all, like the didn't deserve this part comes from the fact that her song is really like sad but still like really upbeat sounding. Like it's one of those songs that like the music sounds really nice and happy, but like when you listen to the lyrics, it's kind of sad and disturbing. So everyone just treats her like in the fandom she's seen as like this traumatized, like childish person. Now with Parr, she's like the mom friend, but she's like the mom friend that'll bring you out to ice cream. No, wait, no, never mind. I take that back. she's the mom friend who's like the therapist. Like and because like in the musical she's portrayed as like having everything like together ish because like she survived being married to Henry, which is like good for her. I also feel like some people might see her as like a tragic figure because she didn't get to marry Thomas Seymour, which is always weird why she wanted to marry Thomas Seymour, which is something I'm not gonna go in depth about because not a lot of the fandom really talks about Thomas Seymour. But I've always thought it was funny she wanted to marry Thomas Seymour, but you know. Anyway, yeah. But she's also seen as like this strong, like feminist woman because her song like paints her like that. Like she does things, she gets stuff done. She does it all. Like she ends up doing it all after like Henry's death in the song. Now that we have the overview of the queens, they use those personalities to make like interesting friendship dynamics, which as I mentioned earlier, like them being friends was always weird to me because in the musical like they fight a lot until around like Catherine Parr's song. Like they're just like arguing over something, which I get because the whole musical is framed as like a talent show for being the lead singer of a girl group. Yes, which is always interesting because a lot of people don't seem bothered by that structure. And the reason why that strikes me as odd is that it has a similar structure to like the 25th annual Putnam Spelling Bee and like a chorus line, which those two again make sense like with six as like why the structure isn't weird to me. But like the most popular, or not popular, but the most like infamous musical that has this structure is Cats, and like no one that likes modern musicals, like, well, not no one, but a lot of people who like got obsessed with musicals around like middle school or like high school, they don't really like Cats because of that like talent show-ish or like competition structure, but a lot of them like chorus line or like 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. That one's a long name. And like Six too. A lot of people like Six. Like it is very famous. And the thing I feel like that might have contributed to its fame is to the fact that it became a few of its songs, like a few of its songs became a TikTok meme. The one that the Six fandom like knows as at the top of their heads as becoming a TikTok meme is "Don't Lose Your Head," the part where she goes, "Ooh, sent a reply to I'll think about it maybe XO baby." That part that became a TikTok meme apparently. I was not on TikTok to see that happen. But apparently it was really popular as a TikTok meme, and the Six fandom was like really bugged by that because a lot of theater kids do not like TikTok. Anyway, another sound, but like that one, like it isn't as badly used as like another sound, which I would say is the one that goes, "I think we can all agree I'm at the 10 amongst these threes," and tall, large Henry VIII, because a lot of people act like that is an upgrade for them and when they use them, but like in the song, her saying she's really pretty and her meeting Henry is not a good thing. I mean, it's good being pretty, but like her song is just tragic. And it's just really ironic to me that her songs are used in like a light manner. I mean, it makes sense though. They're not using any of like the heavy lines, so it's fine. There are a lot of like TikTok. I think like another one is from I think there's like another TikTok meme in Get Down. And like I said earlier, no one in the fandom really likes the TikTok memes out of the musical. Anyway, yeah. At the end of the day, fandom is really pretty chill, but it plays around with the canon a lot. Like it does not adhere to the canon a lot. Canon in layman's terms is basically the things that actually happen in the piece of work that you are a fan of. And then you have like slang like fanon, that's like what the fandom like likes to like as a collective hive mind likes to think about. And you have headcanon, which is like what do you think about? Anyway, that's an important thing I feel like you guys might need to know later. But yeah, overall they kind of adhere to the canon, except for the part that the fact that they weren't friends, but they don't really adhere to history. Anyway, I think this fandom is like a chill fandom, you know. It's good. And that is the episode.